No place. Some prisons don't have bars. They have freedom. Brooks Hatland spent 50 years behind walls that never moved. In Shawshank, time stopped, but life made sense. He fed the birds. He read books. He knew his place. Then one day, the gates opened. The world outside was loud, fast, unfamiliar. Cars moved too quickly. People didn't see him. They walked through him. For the first time in his life, Brooks was afraid. A job, a room, a chance at freedom, but no place to belong. Every night he wrote letters to men still in prison, trying to convince himself he was okay, trying to believe freedom was enough, but freedom came too late. The world had changed, and Brooks had not. So he returned to the only place where he ever felt useful, even if only in memory. Brooks didn't die because he was weak. He died because hope arrived after a lifetime of waiting. Some men get used to walls, and when the walls are gone, so are they. Final howl. In a future that has forgotten heroes, Logan is tired. His body no longer heals. Every wound stays, every breath hurts. The Wolverine is dying. He hides from the world, caring for Charles Xavier, a man whose mind once saved humanity, now powerful enough to destroy it. Logan's dream is simple: to run away, to let the world end without him. Then Laura appears, a child with claws like his, eyes full of fear, born from his DNA, his past, made flesh. Logan doesn't want her, doesn't want responsibility, but every step they take together pulls him back into violence, back into pain, back into being Wolverine. Each fight costs him more, his healing fails, his strength fades, but he keeps going, not for himself, for her. In the final battle, Logan gives what little he has left. His body breaks, his heart doesn't. He falls beneath the trees, not surrounded by enemies, but by children he saved. Laura runs to him. She cries. She calls him father. And for the first time in his life, Logan understands why he survived so long. He didn't live to be a legend. He lived so they could. The Wolverine dies, but hope doesn't. Frozen love. Jack Dawson was never meant to survive the Titanic. And somehow, that truth makes his story hurt even more. From the moment Jack appears on screen, he feels temporary, like someone who exists only to remind others how alive they could be. He doesn't own much. He doesn't plan far ahead. He laughs easily, loves deeply, and treats every moment like it matters. When Jack meets Rose, it isn't just romance, it's rescue. Rose is suffocating inside expectations, wealth, and a future chosen for her. Jack shows her something simple but dangerous, so that life can be felt, not endured. As the ship sinks, panic slowly gives way to silence, and that's where the real heartbreak begins. Floating in the freezing darkness, Jack understands what Rose can't yet accept. There is room for her, not for him. He spends his final moments reassuring the woman he loves, telling her to survive, to keep going, to never let go of life. Critics later called Jack's death one of the most emotionally devastating sacrifices in cinema history, not because of the tragedy itself, but because of how human it feels. Jack freezes while keeping his promise. Rose survives, not just physically, but emotionally. Everything she becomes later in life is shaped by those final moments. Jack doesn't die forgotten. He lives on in every choice Rose makes. And maybe that's why this scene still hurts decades later, because it reminds us that sometimes love isn't about staying. It's about letting someone else live. Endless waiting. Loyalty isn't loud. It waits. Every day, Hachi walks to the train station with his owner, and every evening he waits there, tail wagging, heart open, believing love always comes back. Then one day, it doesn't. His owner never returns. The station empties. The seasons change, but Hachi stays. People try to take him home, to give him new beginnings, but Hachi already has one, and he refuses to let it go. Years pass. Snow falls on his fur. Time slows his steps. Yet every day he sits at the same spot, watching the same trains, hoping for the same face. To the world, he becomes a story, a statue, a symbol. But to Hachi, it's simpler than that. He isn't waiting for a miracle. He's waiting for love. When Hachi finally closes his eyes, he doesn't feel alone, because love that is true never ends. It waits. Last snap. Tony Stark was never meant to be the one. He started as ego, brilliant, reckless, self-centered. Over more than a decade, we watched him fail, grow, lose, and learn what responsibility truly means. When the moment comes, Tony understands the cost immediately. There's no hesitation, no speech. I am Iron Man. The theater I was in went completely silent. No cheering, no applause. Just the sound of people realizing what was happening. Tony collapses quietly, not like a hero, but like a man whose job is finally done. Peter Parker finds him, and that moment destroyed me. We're gonna be okay. You can rest now. That line feels like permission, for Tony and for us. Critics later called Tony Stark's death the emotional backbone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because it wasn't about spectacle, it was about sacrifice. Tony doesn't die as Iron Man. He dies as a father, a mentor, a man who finally learned that loving the world means protecting it, even at the cost of yourself. I remember sitting through the credits, unable to move, feeling like a chapter of my own life had ended. Forgotten friend. Some friends are only meant to be remembered. Bing Bong is joy and sadness combined. A childhood friend made of imagination, forgotten but never gone. He helps Riley find her way back, even when he knows there may be no place left for him. In the dark, when escape seems impossible, Bing Bong makes a choice. He lets go. Not because he isn't loved, but because someone else matters more. As he fades, his last wish isn't for himself. It's for Riley to be happy. Some memories don't disappear. They grow into who we become. And sometimes, the ones we forget are the ones who saved us first. Fallen King. The strongest king dies not in battle, but in betrayal. Mufasa rules the Pride Lands with strength and kindness, teaching his son Simba that true power isn't fear, it's responsibility. Simba believes his father will always be there, because kings don't fall, and fathers feel invincible until they aren't. When Scar's plan is set in motion, the sky darkens, the earth shakes, and a stampede becomes a weapon. Mufasa fights the impossible. He climbs, he reaches the edge, and for a moment, hope lives. Then Scar looks into his brother's eyes and chooses power over blood. Mufasa falls, not just from the cliff, but from Simba's world. The Pride Lands lose a king. Simba loses everything. Scar doesn't just kill Mufasa, he kills innocence, he kills trust, he kills childhood. Years later, Simba returns, carrying guilt that was never his, because a father's love doesn't die with him. It lives in the child who rises and becomes more than he ever believed he could be. Gentle giant. Sometimes the world kills the wrong man. John Coffey arrives on death row looking like a monster, a giant of a man, shaking, frightened, silent. Everyone fears him. Everyone believes the worst, but John Coffey is gentle. He cries easily. He's afraid of the dark, and he feels pain that isn't his own. Convicted of a crime he never committed, John doesn't fight his fate. He doesn't scream for justice. John has a gift. He heals the sick. He pulls disease and suffering out of others and absorbs it into himself. Every miracle makes him weaker. Every kindness leaves him more broken. The guards begin to understand the truth. This man is innocent. This man is pure. But the Green Mile only moves forward. As execution day comes, John isn't afraid of dying. He's tired. Tired of cruelty. Tired of hatred. Tired of feeling the world's pain every waking moment. When the lights are prepared, John asks for one thing. Not to be left in the dark. Not because he fears death, but because he has always feared loneliness. When John Coffey dies, the room doesn't feel empty. It feels wrong, because some souls are too good for this world. And the Green Mile is where innocence goes to end.